We're down, had first real hard frost of the year, so we're going to be kind of taking a look at that as well today. But yeah, it's cold out here. We're in the greenhouse. It got down to, I want to say it was 34 when I came out here at 6 o'clock this morning. So, it did its job. It kept the thing above. I didn't expect it to get that cold, so here we are now. I've got my heater running, so we're warming it up. The sun's out, so this heater will only be on for a little bit longer. And then, we're off to the races and stuff. So, again, welcome everybody. My name's Ryan. Come here live pretty consistently in my greenhouse throughout the autumn, through the winter, into the spring, and then throughout the growing season out in the garden just doing stuff. So, if this is your first time making the live stream, hopefully I earn your subscription today. So, we got a few things that we're going to be looking at today. Really, in here, I've got to start organizing the greenhouse a little bit. That's really going to be really where we're at today, is really working to get the greenhouse organized. I've got some shelving that, the temporary shelving, I'm going to put that up along the side here just to give myself a little bit of room. When we get into December, there will be the rodeo, which is when we move everything around and everything a bit more. So what is going on here? Why are you such a mess today? Sorry, got some stuff on my screen screen we're trying to push through here. Okay. That. No, I want this set to this. Sorry. Why are you being dumb today? Don't be dumb. Fight the urge. Okay, okay, I guess that's all I'm going to be able to do there. And then, here's this. Okay. Apologize for anybody that's just kind of hopping on right now. Here's the stuff we're working on. Okay, so anyways, I got my temporary shelves that we have to put over here to get that squared away. Then it's just kind of time to do the dirty here, and I've got a few of these spots that I've got to clean up a bit here. So and organize out in the garden. We're going to spend a little bit of time out there. I've got the chickens, their coop. I need to go through, clean the coop out. It's been a few weeks. Time to just go through and just clean that out, refresh that a little bit. I've got updated, and we're going to pack it full because we are having, again, it's getting a lot colder now, so I've got to put more bedding and stuff in there as well too to help them maintain the temperature. But like I say, chickens are good down to 0 degrees; they're fine. However, I do want to make sure that we've got plenty of stuff in there just to help them out a little bit as well. I mean, end of the day, we do want them to stay warm and everything. So hey, Julio, welcome. So that's the thing here. But yeah, we're starting the day out here in the greenhouse for all the right reasons, because it's warmer in here. I think it's 55 in the greenhouse right now. It is 34 degrees outside here, and I'm in northern Michigan. We're getting to that time of year. They are projecting that we should have our first snowfall somewhere in the first or second week of, oh no, northern Michigan, not quite Alaska. Feels like it. It felt like it this morning though, for sure. But they're projecting our first snowfall. And none of it'll stick per se, but they're looking at that the first or second week of November. We've got multiple. I think they're calling for upwards of 4 Arctic blasts to come through that are really just going to drop the temperature down as a whole here. So lots of good stuff there. But anyways, we got the work to do here in the greenhouse, which is fine. Let's work through this here while we can stay warm in this place. And then we'll go out. We've got some things to do out there with the chickens. And then I've got some other things. So, oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And then we've got, we're going to go check in actually on the compost as well, too. We started two different compost piles last week, and they are doing their thing. They're heating up. They've been warming up, but I want to just show you all, for those that were on the stream earlier, again, earlier this week, just show how much the compost has compressed, how much it's actually gone down in just a week. It's really something to look at for those that have never been there. So never seen it before. It's really fascinating. Just me personally, just from a nerd sciencey side of it, it's great. So, but yeah, that's it's been a good week. Hopefully y'all had a great week. We're back here on the Saturday stream. We'll have I'll be streaming again tomorrow. I've got some more work to do in the garden and obviously around in the yard. So hopefully I earn your subscription today. So if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that like. And when you hop into the chat, please let us know where you're from. Big thing. I'm in northern Michigan. Just want to kind of know where everybody's at, where they're from, and here helps us have a better idea of what you're up against, your gardening, or what you're dealing with. So be sure to let us know. Okay, so last week, not this week, but last week we were. I know it's backwards for y'all. Today's going to be a backwards stream. I didn't want to bring my computer out here to do the extra setup, so we're going to have to kind of slum it with the picture being reversed here a bit. So, but I believe we can get through it. We were basically harvesting seeds from a lot of our flowers, from our plants, and everything else. So, am I a good cook? I think I'm okay. I think, we're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing up some extremely fancy grilled cheese and cheap tomato soup for dinner tonight. So that's what's so yeah, so that's going on. But either way, we've been saving up all of our seeds from vegetables, some of our flowers, wildflowers, etc., that we're growing, and bagging those up. The ones that we didn't, that weren't quite ready yet, we put in the dehydrator. So for instance here, this is summer squash that needed to be dehydrated and saved. So we're just going to drop this into some bags as well. And this is just one example of what we had here. So, but different things that we had. So we got to save those up. So we're going to get those kind of captured first because the bags, I had to toss the bags for all the reasons and get those in there. So we're going to be saving these up, and you just see kind of how that looks for all of our summer squash. It was just true, but we had a decent size summer squash. And the way you do it is you let your, like for instance, my summer squash is actually a gourd. If you let it go, it just like a pumpkin, it gets nice and solid, that really, really tough rind on it that'll set up a good skin to protect it as well. So that's really what we had to carve through in order to get to these here. Who is, okay. What are you guys making all this noise for today, huh? Goodness. Yeah, my chickens are just outside over here. We'll be going to stop and say hi to them here in a little bit. But I'll come over here so you guys can kind of see me in real time while I'm doing this here. Let me adjust this. It's one of the joys of being able to do this live, like this mobile stuff here, so you guys can kind of just keep an eye on what I'm doing. And I didn't have to harvest a bunch here, so I saved a group of them here. And they've been dried out. These are all set. So what we're going to do is basically just take these. These are going to move into, these will be in my garage. So they'll be overwintered in the garage. So they'll go through a freezing cycle, right? They'll be stratified. It's stratification is what you're looking for with most seeds, at least, the annual seeds that we do here. We want to make sure that you want them to freeze up. Right, and that's a process that they do over the winter, and what it does, it just tells the plants like, hey, as they start warming out and thawing, like, oh, it's springtime, so it's safe for us to germinate. So they need to go through that cycle of being frozen, and then that thaw, and that triggers all the enzymatic, all the enzymes to come out and do what they do to start the process of germination. If you skip the stratification, the freezing side of it, chances are good it's not going to work too well for you. Like, that's really what that comes down to. So yeah, these have been dehydrated, so now they're just going to go through this process. All right, so we got this one cleared off. Even had some of my thyme left over. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Hey, what's happening, Constance? Welcome to the stream. Where are you from, Constance? Again, just a reminder for anybody who hops in the stream, we love it when you hop in the stream and say hi. Let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're from. So we got some squash here. And then the next thing down, I'm going to save this one, are going to be our zucchini seeds. They're Indiana. Oh, okay. Well, I'm up here in northern Michigan, so it's good to see you on here. Welcome. Did you guys have any? We had frost this morning. San Diego. Man, I love San Diego. I love that town. Used to teach down at the submarine warfare center across from the airport at the little Navy installation right there. Not all the way from Coronado, just literally across the street from the airport. So, but anyway, so these are zucchini seeds. It's the same thing we went through. Yes, I've already dehydrated the seeds and we're saving them for next season. So this is they dehydrated for 48 hours at 95 degrees, and then now I'm just kind of going through and just capturing a whole bunch of these, and then they're gonna go sit in my garage for they're gonna sit in my garage over the winter, and then we'll break them out in the spring, which we will be doing here live on that. We do this on the stream here, so. You know, if you haven't been here before, this is what we do. If you want to learn more about gardening, working in your yard, all the things, I have a regular stream that we just come on here, as well as put out some long form videos and stuff. So good to have you on here. Also, if there's other folks you know that you think would benefit from hopping on the stream, hanging out, just asking questions, and we're all learning from each other, make sure you share it with them. Yeah. Great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, this... not just me, but if you have questions, make sure you ask them ask them directly in the chat, because there is all sorts of us that are on here with different levels of experience. I'm just a dude. I'm not like a professional at this. I'm literally in the greenhouse in my backyard, or back on, and we simply just all work together to try to do better at this. You know, because end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, and what I do here, a big piece of what I do is I work on trying to build out our food security for as many people as possible. Like, that's my ultimate goal here, is to try to demystify and make it easier for folks, for the barrier of entry to grow your own food and things of that nature. So that's the way out here. So these are our gray stripe mammoth sunflower seeds. We save these here. So hey, Benny, where are you from? Let us know. Let us know in the chat where you're from. And again, if you've ever seen mammoth sunflower heads, they're like this big. They're monstrous. In my opinion, I don't know how to answer that. Please tell me that's a pun. I hope that's the case. But we all try to work together here we can to make it as easy as possible for folks to get in and learn how to do these things here. So basically just how to grow things. So one thing, for instance, we're going to have to go take a look at my basil that I have growing I've had a basil bush growing in my garden all summer and into the fall here. Well, it just got hit with we got a pretty decent frost last night. I think it was down to 26. So that should be the end of my basil plant. We'll see if it survived or not. See what survived on it, I should say. And then it was going to seed. I hope it actually got to seed. I haven't checked in a few days. So, because I'd like to be able to harvest those basil seeds instead of having to pay for more basil seeds again. But it's always hard to sell. Basil's one of those ones that takes it's always a race against time at the end of the season to see if it's going to actually go to seed, because I intentionally don't let my basil plant go to seed throughout the season, so it grows into basically a large bush. So what time to actually begin? I just started a couple minutes ago. Usually around 10 o'clock on Saturdays, I'm out here in the garden starting on stuff. So that's where we're at on Saturdays. Working on getting the schedule kind of more locked in now that we're getting into the fall. So you guys so for those that do want to be on the stream, you can kind of plan around if you want to hop on here, that you'd be available. Now, I do not need all of these seeds. I can tell you that much. I mean, this is like here's pretty much all the mammoth sunflowers I need to grow, but I always get more than I need because my planting method for these is very straightforward. I walk out of my garden and just throw them randomly and just let them grow wherever. Because again, sunflowers are awesome like that. They're mostly for my birds. All the songbirds in the area, just give them some snacks to have also provides cover for my chickens during the summer months. And sunflowers are just good. They're good to have around. They're actually a really good survival crop because you can eat the entire sunflower at different times throughout the year. It's all completely edible. To like roasting the entire head and whatnot. So yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so again, here we got all the mammoth seeds are saved, and then I've just got this last little bit here, which is cucumber seeds that I had to throw on this thing, and they did okay. They fermented like they needed to, so I'm going to save those. Chances are good, though. I typically am always trying to, when it comes to the different seeds, we'll be testing out as well. I always order a new seed pack every year, or multiples, and I think this year we're going to be going through I'll be basically planting mine, because I really like these cucumber plants that I grew here. They grew really good fruit this year. But at the same point, we're going to have our seeds from, I think we're going to go through Organo Republic again. So stay tuned for that stream. Once I order those, we will be doing a review on those. Oh, I don't know if you guys can tell, the sun just came out. Oh, we can unplug this heater now. The sun is out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, heater off. Whew, yeah, heck yeah. Why is that so warm? Ooh, that's never a good sign. So we can do this. Heck yeah. That is how we want to start the day right there. We want to get that off as soon as we can. All right. Okay. So we got this last bit here. Just kind of filled with some gross stuff on this. Get this off. Now on my dehydrator here, I have this guy, which is probably the most important of the things that we have, is really just this chunk of plastic here to catch all the seeds and everything, to make sure we limit who ends up down below here. But we didn't get everybody. Some people did sneak through. So what are you doing here, man? Where are you stuck at? Come here. There we go. Don't be silly. Because what we're trying to keep this from happening. If you guys can see that in there. See how I got some stuff made its way in here. So I'm going to try to keep all that out of there best that we can. But so with that, this is my seed dehydrator. That's only used for seeds. I have one that's that's for food, like in the house and other stuff like that. But this one is literally just so I can do seeds. And it is, I got it from my neighbor back in the day before he passed away. He said I could have it because he knew the stuff that I was doing as far as in the garden. So that was great. Good stuff. All right. Okay, so we were just kind of in the process of straightening up. So again, today here, just for those that are joining here, we're going to be doing some cleanup here in the greenhouse. I've got to get my my extra shelving set up over here so I can get this in place. And the shelving is real straightforward. All it is cinder blocks. Cinder blocks with some wood across there that I can stack some stuff up over here. This is my south facing wall. So this is where you're going to see, wow, it went from 55 degrees to 70 here in 10 minutes. I love it when the sun comes out like this. This is so great. So anyways, that's what's going to be over here. And I'm going to move some of my stuff over here because I want to have it closer to the south facing wall so it's getting more direct light on there as well. And then I've other stuff. I've just got some cleanup I have to do. You know, we got some old hollyhock in here that we got the seeds from. Some older seed packs that have seen better days. They just need to be tossed and put into the trash. You know, just usual organization. That's all it is. But yeah, so today this week was really good. In and around work was good. For those that I'm a business coach by trade. I actually help people get their businesses ready to sell. I help them grow their businesses, things like that. And then during the week when I'm not doing that, and then on the weekends we're in here doing this. But it was a good week with my clients, really good week. Had a lot of positive impact here with them as well. So, which I always love. So I'll show you guys this. We're on week 2 of drying out our corn. This is really the best known method to dry your corn out. You always want to try to hang it here, and you can just see where, you guys can make that out or not, where it is definitely starting to wrinkle up pretty significantly here. So this is drying out really well. And this is just going to live up here in my greenhouse all winter. And this will be my corn for planting for next year. And it's a sweet corn variety. But I only grow corn for decoration and for food for my chickens, just them to munch on. The corn, like right now, all the stalks that I grew are on the front of my house. as decorations. That's how I grow them out. It's sweet corn is cheap, and I'm in northern Michigan where there's a lot of people grow a lot of sweet corn, and you can pick it up for really cheap around here. So I try not to grow stuff that is inexpensive to buy. Okay, just that I don't need to necessarily take up garden space on. Additionally, my garden here as well, for those that were on the stream earlier, throughout the year, I actually have a vegetable stand that we put out, and I put out food for my neighbors, and it's what did I say? It's donation only, so folks can come up and grab whatever they need. So I really want to maximize my growing space so I can keep that thing full as long as I can. So yeah, there's that. All right, so I need to kind of do a little maneuvering here because this guy's going to be done in here for the year. So I'm just put this outside right behind here. Give me 2 seconds, and we are gonna. Oh, stop! You guys are just silly. What? Be so silly, you gooses. Same thing here. This needs to come out. This can stay. All right. Oh, it is so nice out. It's getting so nice out already. You can't beat it. Okay, cool. So I got some space. So one of the things that I do grow here, and I will always have growing in the greenhouse here in Michigan, is I always have different lettuce varieties just growing. I always have them started and going. Not during the summer, because for obvious reasons, I have an entire garden to grow in, right? But once we start getting this time of year, more and more of the stuff that I grow is going to be, especially for lettuce, I want to make sure that I have this out and it's around, okay? And the reasons I do that are really straightforward. Lettuce is expensive. I mean, it really is to get it, and it grows really easily. You know, this is a month in right now, and I've already got some other stuff started. We're going to be starting more and more lettuce every couple weeks. I'm just going to have a tray or so going. And will I eat all lettuce? Nope, absolutely not. But it'll be here for me. Anything that it starts to get too old or whatever, it just goes to the chickens. So they've got fresh greens as well too, and I'm not having to pay for fresh greens for them. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go through, and then so some of these that I got these seeds, didn't do anything with this collard. They're just gonna end up in the trash. But there's other stuff that we're gonna keep. Like for instance, I have onions, like these onions here. I start onions all the time as well too. Onions are cheap, but having fresh green onions around as often as I use them, it's kind of expensive. So I just keep green onions going, so I can constantly just go out here and trim for what I need. I do a lot of Asian cooking, and it's just nice to have fresh. You've always got to have some scallions or whatever to be able to do some green onions. So just having them growing fresh is important. All right, so we're just gonna start working through here. All right, so again, these are just old seeds. You're gonna see me toss it. Hey, what's up, Emily? Welcome back. So we've got a lot of seeds that we're just gonna be going through here and tossing, and kind of talk about the ones that I had here. So I ordered some Plum Regal tomato seeds last year. They're they're plum shaped for reasons, right? And they grew okay, but I wasn't really happy with them, so we're gonna not do those again. Now the Magic Mountain that I got, they were a little almost bottle shaped. I was really disappointed with those. I did get a good yield, but I just was really disappointed with how long it took for them to get what I would say is viable. So those are on the Ryan will never purchase those again list. That's gonna happen. For those that are familiar with these, I always have stacks of these around. We are always dealing with the beetles around here. Although, I will say this much for my birds this year. Sorry about the noise, guys. My chickens, they have been on a grub tear, like ripping apart every bit of my garden so far to get after them. So that's been pretty. So I imagine my beetle count is going to be down a little bit. All right, so this guy can go. We just got some older equipment here that you can tell. You can tell when you do streaming, you've always got random. Hey, Jackie, I'm in northern Michigan. I live right about here when you think about the state of Michigan. So I got the thumb over here. I'm right on Lake Michigan. It's right 10 miles that way. That's where I live. I don't need this for anything. Okay, we just got some stuff we're going to be tossing out here. Just kind of cleaning up. This was kind of my catch-all tray for, you can just kind of see, the catch-all tray for all sorts of just yuck. So we're just kind of cleaning some stuff out here. Keep this guy. This actually was a pretty amazing little thing. It allowed me, I was hanging, last year I was able to hang some of my cameras right directly from the greenhouse here. And again, that when we start getting into where we're going to be doing some larger scale planting, getting things set, I actually have a whole different setup here. We won't be on mobile. We'll actually be on the horizontal. So you'll want to make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when that is. Because I actually do an overhead camera for these, which is a lot of fun. So you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, what I'm digging in here. So real time, while we're chatting, live stream, it's all the good stuff. So hopefully you'll be joining us for that. Yeah, some of the stuff I just wasn't happy with. Peppers, just, I can grow them up here, but man, they are just a pain to get growing up here in Michigan. And again, I don't use peppers all that often, so you know, it's just one of those things. I've tried them, they just don't work out well for me. So just adding those to the list. What I'm gathering up here, if you have a greenhouse, born in Flint, Michigan, now in Tennessee now. Okay, all right. I spent a little time down in Tennessee. I've avoided Flint at all costs for all the reasons. But Tennessee, I was down over in Kingsport. There was a school that I went there for some training. Pal's Sudden Service. It's a burger joint drive-through place over there, and they do some training over there, which is absolutely phenomenal. So if you get a greenhouse, and again, mine is 6 by 7 by 16, so 7 foot 6 wide, 16 all the way down. And next year, one of the things, we're going to be expanding this and growing the size of the greenhouse. They have these aluminum slats when you get them from like Wayfair and these the different when you order them online. You can pick up these clips, right? They got these little nubbins in here, and they slide right in the channel here, right? That you can lock them in to do stuff. So, and they're real cheap. You can get them on Amazon, inexpensive, and they're really great for you to be able to hang different things, connect different things up. They're just kind of nice to have. They help keep stuff in place. So big fan of these. Big fan. So Mountain Fresh Hybrid. So this year also we experimented with some bush style. We're going to keep this guy. We're going to redo some romaine. I tried with some bush style tomatoes. I wasn't really happy with them, to be quite honest. I moved away from Traverse City area because of oh, well, I mean, okay. Well, you moved away. So anyways, back to the tomatoes here. It was a bush style, the bush style tomatoes. I'm just not a big fan of. If I'm gonna, from here on out, really, I just really like the indeterminate varieties. They give me a little bit better opportunity to, frankly, I just get a better yield from them. And it allows me to produce for a longer time too. That's why I just really enjoy them. Yes, with the, I want to keep the kale. Nah, we're gonna get new set here anyways. Celery, I'll tell you the celery, I was really happy with growing the celery that I grew out here this year. It was it did really well. I'm kind of surprised at how well it did, but all these seeds are basically done this year. Gonna get some Swiss chard going, that's for sure. Don't need the leeks. Beans, basil, how much basil I got? I probably should start some basil too. So I got some fresh basil growing at all times. But anyways, and I don't need this little scoop. This can go. Oh, cleanup day on the greenhouse. It's always something. So, hey, Terry, what's up? Yeah, Petoskey I've got family up in Petoskey. At least they were up there. They've moved since. But yeah, Petoskey is always a fun town to go visit. I moved to Maine for 5 years after my time in the military, and Maine and Petoskey, it was what Maine reminded me a lot of Petoskey, just that area. So yeah, it was really pretty up there. I got a friend I went to school with. She lives up there with her husband and family. So anyways, the indeterminate varieties, especially for what I grow here, It is one of those spots where, oh, hey, thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're in the process of doing cleanup right now, which is, its own thing. So we're talking about indeterminate varieties as we get closer and closer. It's understanding your differences and your different types of, like for tomatoes. So there's two styles of determinate and indeterminate, like tomatoes. There's determinate and indeterminate. So simply means is when it says determinate means it grows for a certain height, fruits, and then it's done. So it grows for a determined amount of time. Then there's indeterminate, which is the vine variety of tomatoes that grow for an indeterminate amount of time. They just keep growing as long as they've got water, support, sun, and basically food. They will continue to grow up and up and up and do those things. So I actually prefer those, and that's what I build my my trellises out. My trellis system is designed for those tomatoes, for indeterminate varieties. I got mescaline. Ooh, good stuff. So it's good to have everybody on here. Remember, when you hop in the chat, just as a gentle reminder, please make sure you let us know where you're from. We love to hear where people are from in the world, because we're from all over the place, and it's just helpful. Do I want to keep this old? Now we're gonna use zip ties this year. I'm just thinking through last year. So I've got some I was trying to think here. I've got some new lights I'll be ordering this year as well too for in the greenhouse, so you'll be able to see that whole setup. Got these peas over here. I think I'm just gonna toss these out to the chickens real quick. There we go. Solve that problem. That's done. You got more of our clips. It's the thing. Once you buy these clips, man, you just find them everywhere here. They're everywhere. Oh, you know what? I didn't grow this year, and I will be growing this next year, are going to be these. It's called cucamelons. I don't know. Hey, welcome. Northern Germany. Okay. Vasses Los. And Willkommen, if I said that right. I think I'm close. And then for Maryland. Oh, awesome. Welcome. So cucamelons. These things are pretty cool. What they are, and I really like them. They're great in salads. They're about this big, as a matter of fact. They grow these little, they look like little watermelons, like this big, but they taste like cucumbers, and they grow on a vine, and they grow all over the place once you get them set up, and they're really, really good in salads, like as a little extra crunch factor. So I am all in on those. I just didn't grow them this year for all of the dumb reasons. Oh, you ever have one of those days? Oh, all good. There you go. Love to hear it. Where hour and a half east of Toronto. Okay, all right, okay. Been up in Toronto. I lost quite a few hours and days on Yonge Street back when I was younger. And yeah, spent some time obviously in Canada as well too. Anyways, back to this. So if you've ever had one of those days that you realize 6 months later that you're having a day, is this right here, this bag, my little baggie of zinnia seeds. I was looking for zinnia seeds on a stream earlier this year, and I couldn't find them because they weren't in the containers that I thought they were in. This goes my old man memory. I actually had them all up in here. So, and I just discovered them because of course I did. And then I've got this year's zinnia seeds right here. And if you guys haven't seen zinnia seeds, I may go pull some zinnias just kind of show you guys here. I've got, actually, I didn't even separate them out as well as I did with these ones. Let me show you the zinnia seeds with this guy. I think it's going to be a better, what these look like. Here you go. These are zinnia seeds. They're just these most gentle looking, just basically made out of paper, as much as they are. Seeds that you'll ever run across. But man, they're extremely easy to harvest. They are, in my mind, third in line, at least for the stuff that I work with, in level of ease for harvesting behind hollyhock. Well, first and foremost are marigold seeds. Marigold seeds are the easiest seeds to harvest, like, of any out there. And then Hollyhock is next, followed by, again, going to be your zinnias as well. So, oh good, this guy here, awesome. Toss that. All right, we're making, amazingly enough, we're making some headway here, folks. So I've got this I need to save too. I've got these seeds we're saving. So we just kind of got a little collection of the seeds we're saving as we're going to be growing stuff over here. We just planted garlic yesterday. Yeah. Oh no, I'm with you there too, 100%. We don't, again, I'm a little bit different. I don't do any tilling on mine. I have it's not that I'm anti-tilling, I just don't do any tilling on mine. I've got a broad fork that we go through and use for those things. So it's good you got your garlic going. That's awesome. Love hearing that. All right, so let's go through some of the other stuff that we have here as well. Again, Brussels sprout seeds. These were really, Brussels sprouts did okay this year. We're gonna be working on some of those for next year. Some more peas. Bunching onions, we're gonna keep this because I'm gonna keep the bunching onions going this year for sure. Okay, one thing I will say is I actually did some different onions in and around the property this year, and you know, for the most part, they did okay. I was pretty happy with them. The bok choy, the bugs really love the bok choy. So then I got the broccoli. So that's one thing in this area. My brassicas do very, very, very well, and this one here. So I grew artichokes for more fun than anything this year. They're out in my garden. We'll go take a look at them here later in the stream once we get out and start working on the chickens a little bit. They are about yay high and about yay wide, my artichoke plants. It is crazy how big they are. It is nuts. Other stuff that did okay, we're also going to be looking at here. I'm going to save this because I'm going to do some spinach in here as well too. Just get a bunch of baby spinach growing so we can have that to snack on as well. Save this piece here. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Don't need any of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually pull these out. I don't even know what these are for. Oh, I know what these are for. I don't need those. For the pump for my, I've got a, oh, what is it? Fountain in the backyard there that I've got a pump system for. That's what that was. So let me toss these in the back real quick. Again, the chickens are always looking for snacks. There you go. Some snacks for the chickens. Oh man, am I glad to see that sun out there. It'll warm it up a little bit, you know what I mean? All right. This can be gone. There's a couple things where I had them in here, where I only had them in here, a couple items, specifically just there because I got stuck in a rainstorm and I didn't want to have to go and open up my shed and everything like that. So there's a few things we're going to run into here that I've just got for whatever. Baker Street seeds. I don't have any experience with Baker Street seeds. I've been using, and we're going to look at, I've got the package right here as a matter of fact. I've been using Organo Republic recently, and I've had extremely good experience with those. In my area, a lot of folks use M.I. Gardner. That's the guy. He's down southwest of me here in the state. But this is on Amazon. This is Organo Republic. They're pretty, they send all sorts of seeds here. You can just see like the different varietals. I didn't even use any of this, I used a lot of their seeds, but I didn't use all of them here. So you can see they got all the different seeds, and we're going to review these again next year. I'm going to get another pack here and load up with those guys. But yeah, we are in cleanup mode, that's for sure. This can be salvaged, so we want to save that somewhere. And that's one thing, I've got sunflower seeds everywhere because of all the sunflowers I grow. You can't throw a stick without hitting sunflower seeds in my general vicinity. We are always got sunflowers in and around here. And again, it's for my birds, my songbirds, more than anything else. Oh, so Organo Republic, they come with this tool. They have a version of this tool that they come with. This is like the greatest flipping tool ever. You're like, Ryan, what in the hell is that thing? This tool, just show you on this stuff that is not coming up. And I'm testing out some other, some other germination issues here right now that I've got with a couple of these items. So we're gonna bring this over here and show you. I'm gonna switch you guys around so you can see this here. All right, doing it live here, folks. That's what we do. So this tool, right, it's kind of got a dual purpose on here. It's got a little thing you can kind of and lift up, but it's also this thing, which is this little scoop, which is designed specifically for these 1-inch by 1-inch pods that you can just come in and just pull the pot out in one shot, right? So when it does have stuff growing in there and the overall leaves are all doing their thing, you have access. Yeah, matter of fact, here's the Oregano, like the Oregano Republic version of it. They've been cool enough to put their little branding on there. But that Oregano Republic, it comes with that. So that's pretty cool. We love that. We love that for us. Because that's a pretty neat tool. I had no idea. What do we got here? Bad year, lost a lot of crops. The bees barely produced any surplus, zero range. Yeah, we were right there with you, especially here we were in a drought pretty much the entire year, and we're still there. I mean, we've been getting a little bit of rain. We had the last week has been a lot of rain, but we're going to be in drought conditions for until we start. Obviously winter is its own version of whatever. But yeah, I'm right there with you. There's a lot of folks, but I did do well. It was one of the best years I've had in the garden. So these, if you haven't seen this before, this is coneflower. This is echinacea. These are really bright, and we'll look at a few of them there. But you can just, for this to get the seeds out of this, it's literally just tap. Now I try to let all of my coneflowers grow and stay up over the winter so that the birds can come in and they do this. They'll start at the top, and what they'll do is they will pick away at this thing and just look at all of those seeds and snacks coming out. And that's what the birds come in and do. So when you can, try to leave all of your flowers up over the winter. I mean, obviously, if you've got a homeowners association and other stuff that you can't, I understand. But where you can, do it, because there's all of these snacks for the birds for over winter. They'll come in and they'll take care of that for you, okay? When we want to keep them fed, the same thing. You can just see. So many seeds for coneflowers and echinacea. And good stuff. So that's what we always want to try to do. Save those where we can. Okay, so there was that. That seems to be pretty good. We're going to keep this. This is going to serve a purpose here in a little bit. Sooner than I think, to be quite honest. Probably in the next month or so, I'll have to do that. And what that is so the hollyhock, they won't grow. I don't grow the hollyhock in here. I grow those outside. But the hollyhock in this that I grow, they'll top out maybe at 5 foot, give or take. I have some of my neighbors and some other folks growing hollyhock. They've got some stuff that's been well over their head. But that isn't the case for me. Not what I have. All right, we're going to keep this. I know, so don't you hate it when you find, actually, what is this for? This is going to bother me. And I don't know what it is, so we're just going to put it in here. I had that component for something. It needed to be there for something. All right, so we're going to keep paper bags. We'll stay here. And then we got this is basically just some amendments for the soil. That can stay over here. Actually, that's going to go into the shed later. It'll make a strip over there. Okay, back up. Okay, this is trash, so this can go. Good. That was for my solar power fan setup that I have behind here as well too. So, okay, so we are now there. I just need to get something to hold these guys, because this is stuff that I want to make sure I keep. Well, I went and put it over here, but I guess I need to break it back out to be able to hold all this goodness, because all of this stuff actually serves a purpose, and I'll be using it throughout the year in here. So we just want to keep it here. Not worried about any mice coming in, because they're not going to be worried about this. They have plenty of snacks elsewhere that is not in here, so we'll be fine. We'll be good. Okay, because that can live there. Got my backup spectacles when I'm out here. Got my old, so my old eyes can see. There's that. I've got gloves. We're going to be needing these in a second. We're actually going to take a little break from here. We're going to go out into the garden, and we're going to clean out the coop. That's going to happen right here, as a matter of fact, like right now. Then we're going to come back in here and get my shelving set up. So kind of break up the stream here a little bit on a few things. So how about we go take a look before we head into the for the coop and doing the chicken stuff. Let's go take a look at the compost and see what that looks like for us here. All right, let's do that, guys. Let's go for a walk. A walk here. So, kind of show you guys here what we're up against. This is my compost area where I got my compost bins here. And then I've got where I store some leaves over in that general area. But we want to spend time with these two folks right here. Okay, so let's look at this. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn that around so let's see if you guys got any questions, because you guys tend to ask a lot of. Oh, later, Andy. Go split that wood, man. Welcome, mate. Good to have you back on here. Good to see you. All right, so just catching up on the compost here to show you how far this has gone down. Then we can check the temperature. On this one is at 160 in this compost bin, right? You can see where it was at. Red is where we want to be at. You can see it cooling off. So let's see where this guy is at. I'll be quick. All right, so you can see it's well past the red here. We're closer to 160 on this. So this is up at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's in freedom units here. Now, that's where you want to be at. So last 6 days ago, this pile was this high. So it's already down to here. It's lost half of its overall basically depth or its height. And what's happened is you can see it here. It has started. You can see the different colors that are in there. You can see some of that the white stuff that's in there. We're starting to get bacteria set up in here, and like there's a lot of heat coming off this. Woof. Let's see if we can get some smoke going here. There you go. If you guys can see that or not, but we've got sort of steam coming off of here. And you can see the discoloration just from the top. See how green that is at the top? And then we get down here where all the bacteria are doing their stuff. Right? And that's our aerobic bacteria getting in there. They're breaking everything down. They're eating, and they're producing all the heat, which is helping to speed things up in all the breakdown of the materials. So that's great. So we're just going to let that keep going. We're going to let this go for another week, and then we're going to pull everything out, turn everything inside out, upside down, right side up, and then we're going to put it right back in there again too. So like that's the plan. But I wanted to be able to show y'all, we had it from here in 1 week. This is how much it's compressed, and we've lost mass, water, and just food as a whole as bacteria. The aerobic bacteria, that's your bacteria that lead an oxygen environment, have been in here doing their thing. But it is, woo, man, it's warm up in there. Like it is toasty in there. Steamy, I think, is probably a better way to say that. All right. Like I said, this compost will end up in my garden in the spring. Like that's what this is for. All of this will be for the spring, for the garden. Okay, so anyways, that's where we're at on that, guys. Same thing here. This one has been moving along well, so we've been pretty good there. So next, we are going to clean out the chicken coop. All right, the ladies need to have their chicken coop cleaned out, and then we are going to load it up with a lot more wood shavings than I have been putting in there, because we're starting to get into the cool. Hey, what's up, honey? What's up, girlies? What's up? Say hi. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, it's Honey stopping by to say hi, guys. I don't think it would be a stream if we didn't have Honey stopping in. Just show you, like we've got ice from last night. Like it is crunchy up in here. It is crunchy. So I'm gonna set you guys right up here. I'm gonna get to work. Yeah, so again, it's good to have everybody on here. This is my little coop that I have. It's just a tiny, I only have 6 chickens. We are going to retire this chick. Okay, I know, I hear you. I hear you, ladies. We're gonna retire this coop next year, or at least augment it to make a larger one and get us a few more chickens going into next year, more than likely. We'll see. But no way, of course they would have. I literally got eggs earlier this morning, so of course, since I cleared out eggs, they decided to leave us another one because that's what they do. All right, just drop that there for now. So all we're gonna do here, so with this, I keep, kind of show you guys here as we go through this. So I have my coop is in my garden for various reasons. Mainly is that I want a lot of the waste material as much as I can back into the garden here. I try to keep as much organic matter, and it's just good fertilizer. You know, chickens are kind enough to leave me some feathers and everything, but they're doing their business in here, which I want out here. In basically, I want this as much in my garden as I can get. So that is one of the reasons that we even have it here, and this is why I have it. You know, we want to have, not getting too graphic on here, this little thing that the chickens left for me. It's great fertilizer for the garden. So that way I'm not having to augment with you know, artificial fertilizers and things like that. I can just use what they are providing naturally for me here. Additionally, all of these, you know, the wood chips and other stuff that I use, it varies throughout the year, right? What I have, this is additional organic material that I can place in my garden. So that's why we want to have that also. Hey, girls. Yeah, I know. Oh, my chicks are just being nosy little Parkers right now. Again, this is the biggest thing here, is simply just, you know, for all the reasons, just keep everything sanitary. Oh, Betty, just relax. I got Betty White, my silky. Doesn't like it anytime that I come in and clean up the coop. She gets a little angry. She's a little protective about her space. She's been broody all summer too. I finally broke her of being broody, which is good. Because that's, you know, that's no good. Having her stuck inside the coop all summer when she should be out enjoying herself, right? So we want to be able to break her of that. But then we're just gonna be loading this up, and like I said, you know, it was down well below freezing last night. And all the chicks, they did fine. I came out here first thing this morning, basically to open it up to let them out. You know, it was still dark out, and they were in here just living their best lives. It was warm and comfy. So that's one thing for you guys just to keep in mind too when you have your chickens. They're fine down to like even 10 degrees, as long as you have enough insulation for them, and you know, they just kind of huddle together and they stay plenty warm. Biggest thing you just want to keep in mind is from girls, don't eat the sawdust. You're just weird. One of the things that they do like to snack on that for whatever reason. Don't be silly, girls. So they'll be plenty warm. You don't have to worry about all that extra stuff. They huddle together when they need a little extra heat. I will be, once we start getting closer to the, let me clear this out by hand first to make sure we're gonna be good. Once we start getting closer to January, or I would say in December, what I'm gonna be doing is coming out here, and I do have a small heater that they use with the brooder. It's a little square, basically. Yeah, it's real thin, and it puts out maybe 100 degrees worth of heat. It's nothing that's going to be dangerous to have out here, and it'll be placed up would be in the rafter here, just to push some heat down for the chicks. Because as we start getting closer and closer to zero, you know, 0 and below 0 here, and that's in freedom units again. That's in Fahrenheit. Starts to be a little dangerous for the chickens, and you know, they're out here making eggs for me. At least I can do is try to keep it a little bit warmer for them. You know what I mean? So that's what that idea is all about. So anyways, you guys got this. So one other reason I like this, it comes with this great little kit, or this bottom tray that I can basically pull everything out in one shot here. Right? So everything just comes out at once, including everything you see that's a little bit darker there. That's the good stuff for the garden. And there we go. All right. So there's that. Now I have a coop that has been cleaned out. So the next thing here is really I've got more wood chips I want to put in here, and went down and I went so what I did is I actually went and purchased another bag here. So we're gonna load this up right now and make sure that they have a nice, comfortable transition from fall into into what is going to be winter, right? We want to try to make that as little stress as possible. So part of that is, again, I'm going to make sure that they, over the course of the year, the winter and the months here, we're going to overload them with bedding. What that's going to do is going to let them really have a spot where they can make sure they can fluff it up, all the insulation, they can get in here and just really help keep themselves warm. Like that's the ultimate goal there. The ultimate goal. And Tractor Supply is really good, really expensive for their bedding, to the point where one of these right here, right, is I think it's $8. $8 with tax to get this whole thing to be ready to go. So, that's easy decision to make. That's what I want to be able to have for the chickens. I'll spend that all day long, twice on Sunday. Yeah, because it's not just for eggs for the chicken. They're eventually going to be meat and fertilizer, right? And pest control. Like they're out of my garden right now. Show you guys what we're up against here. They're out there right now. Pest control. Looking, right, honey. You can see these are the artichokes I was talking about earlier on stream. Look at the size of these guys, huge. And they got frosted, so I'm not sure how well they're going to do. And then same thing here. The celery is doing pretty good also. But yeah, they're out here scratching things up and keeping an eye on the pests. So we love that. We want more of that. Okay. Now, one of the things with your bedding, just to keep in mind, obviously there's different bedding for different purposes, and I'm trying different sizes with my chickens per se. So you can see the two difference here. I got this, which is more of a fine mesh, and these are much thicker. And so we're just kind of playing around with this to see which ones they like best, that they're going to be able to use to make things the best for them. That's only what I want to have, is them being comfortable and then be able to get in here and stay warm. So we're going to, on this, we're going to take a look here in a second. I'm going to try to pack this pretty well with nest making materials in here so they can really settle in. The other thing too is, I don't know if you noticed, but at the bottom of that pan, it's got metal like at the bottom. So I want to make sure I've got a good amount of fluff and bedding in there, because we don't want the chickens' feet to end up like touching that, right? Especially when we get down well below freezing, because they get frostbite and all the bad stuff that happens there. Man, the sun was out and now we're back to cloudy again. So it's cool. That's all right though. It's fall. It's supposed to be fall in Michigan, means you're supposed to have these times where you don't see the sun per se, and it's cooler weather, etc. So I'm just being a little whiny. Don't worry about me. Okay, so now we're gonna get on to the next spot over here. Man, you guys are vocal today. My goodness. Making all the noise here. Okay. But it's good stuff, guys. It's amazing to me also just how busy things have been this fall in and around like the home centers and everything. I should say the lack of busyness that's been going on. It has been dead in those areas, but the local places, the local farm markets, market farms, and farmers markets like that, they've been doing great. They have just been absolutely packed. I have a client who has a farmers market, and man, they have been absolutely just killing it this fall, late summer into fall and autumn here, with sales and what they've been able to. Again, people just coming through. It's been great. So, love to see that. If we're going to be spending our money places, right, folks? Let's make sure we're spending it local as much as we can, because those dollars stay in your local area, right? The box stores, that just ends up wherever. All right, so this last bit here, to make sure I can get as much in here as I can, we're just going to be dumping this in and just kind of pushing it into the actual coop itself through the nesting boxes. That's going to be the easiest way for me to really get it in there. So it's kind of a multi-step approach here. Make sure we're going to be good. So see, we got it basically just filled up here. We're just going to be pushing it through, loosening it up. If I close this up. Yes, I know. What's Ryan doing in our nesting boxes? We don't like this. What's he doing in our house? I know, you guys don't like it when I come do this. You guys want to be up here probably laying eggs right now. Like, this is their egg laying time too. So I'm just messing with everybody's schedule at the moment. Which, boo-hoo for them. All right. I'll kind of show you guys what this will look like here, or what it looks like once we get set up. But again, this is simply just getting bedding in here. And it's one thing with, especially if you want to have animals, this type of stuff, gardening and everything, the chores don't stop. They just kind of evolve depending on the time of year, what you're doing. All right, so let's show you guys what this looks like now that we got all the bedding out and everything. All right, so here we go. So you can see here, see how it's nice, this nice level bed here, but here is actually where their roosts are at. They're underneath here. So the chickens will come on here. This will compress down over a little bit of time here, and they come up during the at night. They just grab a hold of right here, and this is where they roost at. They sleep. Okay, but we got plenty in here, so they'll come in here and just load up and just be happy as they can be. Matter of fact, since I don't need this right now, we'll place their egg back in there. Okay, all right, I'm done, guys. I'm done. You guys can come back in now. So much attitude. Hey, bud, welcome. Where are you from, bud? Again, reminder for folks, when you hop in the chat, please make sure you let us know where you're coming in from. Where you at? We're all over. I'm in northern Michigan here. Again, I come here stream pretty consistently. St. Louis, oh, awesome. Welcome. So we're in here. I'm simply just getting everything ready. There we go. as far as getting coop ready, I'm in, oh yeah, St. Louis, Missouri, absolutely, in the loop. So yeah, we were in the greenhouse earlier, wanted to come out here and get this done. So I just had, all I have currently are chickens. I don't have enough space for anything else. Okay, oh, awesome, down in Texas. I lived in Abilene and Wichita Falls for a while. Oh, but as far as for animals, all I got is these girls here. Got my chickens out there living their best lives. Look at, just happy chickens. All right. So we got that done there. So next up on the list is going to be getting just some temporary shelves. This is a real simple thing, guys. This is just going to be a couple things, but it is a little bit to it. So I just want to make sure that we're good there. Now, in my greenhouse here in particular, the way this is normally set up is I'll have the shelves that are, get out of here, you. The shelves that are here are going to be moved over here when we get into January timeframe, and then we're going to swap them out like it's a whole thing. So, okay, hemp. Yeah, no, I don't use any hemp right now, but it is on the list to try, and we're going to see. So, Pennsylvania, awesome, love it. Thanks for hopping in, guys. Good to have everybody here. Again, if you like gardening, greenhouse, a little bit of homesteading, that type of stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up and make sure in the comments you let us know where you're from, okay? Helps the algorithm, helps us all out here because you never know who's actually going to be around from where you're from. All right, so what I was saying is, oh, hey, Dan. Welcome. So I've had folks from Transylvania on here before. That's interesting. Oh, Dan, were you on here before? I'm trying to think if that was the case or not. I don't think so. Maybe. I'm just trying to remember names. So like I said, these shelves that I built here, these are all out of studs and cattle wire. Will transition over here in December, but for now we're just gonna kind of keep them there. But I do want to get some of my other shelving up because I do want to start moving some of my my other grow pots and the like. So I want to have those over here as well, and that'll just give me a spot to put them there. Okay. All right. So here's this. We're just going to grab these two chunks of board here. And you know, I have a lot of folks that I talk with, and you know, I spend a little bit of time with here, obviously on the channel. All right, cool. Sorry about bumping you guys there. It's pretty straightforward. Well, I'll take your word for that for sure. And like I said, I will give it a try here, 100%. One of the things that stops a lot of people for wanting to get involved in gardening, you know, either getting into greenhouse, whatever it happens, a yard, whatever it happens to be, has to do with the cost, like the barrier to entry for, you know, the price for things to get in here, right? I know, right? We're all kind of all over the spot. So a little bit different. We're all over the place, guys. And what I tell folks is, listen, rather than spend the money on what would be an expensive analog that is, you know, may or may not be specifically set up for your area, find a way to, again, a cheaper analog, something you can do, and that meets the intent. So like in my case, I just need some additional shelving space in here. Real simple. I don't need anything crazy. It's just got to hold up a few things. So I don't even want to know what's in there. Oh, we're going to find out though. So really what I did is we use cinder blocks and 2x4s. This is the one thing where I don't use studs with. And again, I just happen to have 2x4s around for this, but studs work just as well too, and they're cheaper. Really, I need a horizontal surface to hold up plants. I should say the planting boxes, the kits so I can get my plants growing. I don't need anything great because they're going to be getting hit by all the sun in here, water, all the just whatever. So when in reality, what you can do is cinder blocks. They work great and they don't really take up a whole bunch of space, right? Because what I'm looking for is something that I can place just like this here. And what I effectively done here, I know it seems silly to say, like of course, Ryan, we know how to make shelves. The number of people that I know that I go in when I visit them, when I go over to their places, as far as out in their barns, again, in their greenhouse, they happen to have it, or anywhere else, they spend 80, 90, $200 on these shelving systems, right? That weren't designed for their space. We're in and out of here for 2, 4, 6, like $10, and it's you can use it for all sorts of stuff. Like that's the other side of it. So I'm gonna go start bringing in some of my other items here, but when it is full season, I will actually have these shelves built out to about here, and then they will be up to this level right here. So we'll actually have 2 additional whole rows of shelves that are really just meant to be for a short period, a few months. And then once the growing season's done, or like the starting season's done, I break it all down, pull everything out, hose everything off, and then, they just kind of stack up out of the way. And I'm not going to be, they aren't taking up all this space. So again, find a way. If you need shelving, this is my preferred solution because it's cheap. And I just need something that will do this right here. Get ready, guys. Ta-da! We now have my lettuce. It's off the ground and it's ready to go. And that's what I mean, folks. Everyone, again, I don't want you guys spending a lot of money on this type of stuff when in reality, find the cheapest way to do it. It's okay. Your plants don't care. It doesn't need to be Instagram ready. Since this isn't an Instagram ready type of thing. Okay? We are simply just looking for stuff that's going to work for us. Now with this, again, if I want to build this out, again, it's all we're talking about is another set of 2x4s or again, studs. I've got 2 more, which I have, but I don't need it right yet. Up here now, I've got that extra set of shelves versus these, which there's an entire video on, by the way, for building these shelves out. I did build these shelves out, and I have a video showing how to do it, kind of what the costs were and everything. But these are studs. Those are simply just 2x3s that you can get from the box stores. Nice and inexpensive. They get you there, and they do the job. That's what we're looking for. All right, now I'm probably gonna have to have the heater out here starting pretty soon. It looks like we're gonna be into that time of year where it's gonna start cooling off for us. So let me grab a few things here, just kind of show you guys the plan there. And it has to do more with the, I don't want to say it here, prepping for later in the year. It's really what a lot of this is. Show you guys what this looks like. So I can bring this in now. It's not that big of a deal. Easy enough to maneuver around. All right, almost there, guys. Sorry about all the weird noises and stuff. We're gonna just drop this here, do some sections. So what I have, like I was saying, I'm gonna be moving a lot of my wintertime growth stuff. Will end up like my spinach and things like that. That we're actually gonna start them in these pots here. Again, this is from, were these mums? Yeah, here's some mums that I had from last year. What this is going to do is give me a lot of space and a lot of volume for the root systems and everything to be here, but I can grow a bunch in one area and just run them all along the side here that way I can have fresh spinach going, fresh lettuce, things of that nature. Okay. But I always try to save these because they do allow me for different versions of different stuff to grow them. But yeah, there's that there, folks. Okay, so this guy here is where it needs to be at. You're up here. Excuse me. There's that. Okay, so folks, it was a good stream today. We actually got a lot more accomplished than I planned on getting done here in a quick amount of time. So it just says that we are very, very efficient folks here. So what I would say is the following. Again, I appreciate everybody who stopped by the stream today to kind of hang out. Thank you for all the thumbs up. If you haven't, while you're here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm. It helps me find more people as a whole. Because that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is help reach as many people as I can. That's going to be helps me get in front of those folks who may have questions about growing things, want to come here on the hangout stream, because a lot of us are just here hanging out. I do have merch that is currently being designed, and it will be hopefully be available here in the next few weeks. So you guys, if you're, that's going to be one of the best ways to help support the stream is going to be through purchasing merch. So that's coming as we continue to grow out the channel here, this live stream. So with that, hopefully y'all get a chance to get out and enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's great weather where you're at in the world. You get a chance to get out there and get your hands in some dirt and get some sunshine on your face and live your best life. So with that, take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I've got more to do tomorrow on the stream. So take care. We'll see you then.